Hello, and welcome back to the second episode of 272 Berdan. I'm Vanessa Brown, and I'm joined by Sean Kim.
We have an exciting show coming up featuring an interview with the basketball coach and how to make some yummy Thanksgiving treats. Stay tuned for what's to come.
The Wayne Hills Theater program has been working hard on their new show, Puffs. If you want to know who's in the show, take a look at this.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. This old world's confusing me. Clouds as mean as you ever seen. Ain't a bird who knows you're true. Then a little voice inside you whispers, don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a face of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you
Those characters are certainly interesting.
I'd say so. The show definitely covers a lot of themes, but we got to talk to some of the cast and see what the show means to them.
Well, I'd say the play is all about being the star of your own story, because the entire play, the Puffs are just like, they're the losers of the entire school, but they learn to find importance in their friendships with each other, and that's what's important in the end.
Definitely friendship. There are three main Puffs who spend the show kind of coming together and learning about each other and taking on the world, taking on their obstacles and their controversies. And really the message that comes out of that is that you can be friends with the unlikeliest people you never thought that you would have the opportunity to unite with, and that can be a really great thing. And there's a lot to learn and a lot to love about people from all different places and backgrounds and ideas coming together.
Definitely friendship, definitely family, chosen family, and being a part of something, feeling together, feeling wanted and appreciated.
The cast suddenly knows the ins and outs of the show.
So much is happening in Puffs. I wonder what their favorite part has been. Let's hear what the cast has to say.
Mostly just coming here, being present here, and all these people here in the cast, they're like my best friends. I've had a deep connection with all of them, and it's just great.
I really enjoy the sense of community in the cast. Pretty much everybody's friends. There isn't any clickiness. It's just really nice, and we have a lot of inside jokes, and it's a lot of fun.
My favorite part about being in this is just seeing everyone every day. I mean, especially not after COVID, because obviously we're still wearing masks and everything and being safe. But the past few years, it's been a bit distant, and now we're finally able to be up on stage with everyone and see everyone and act with each other again, and it's great. That's definitely my favorite part.
Wow, they sound like they're having so much fun. We also got to talk to some of the cast about what the rehearsal process is like.
So the rehearsal process it's a weekly thing. Actually, it's more of a daily thing. We come in every day, start at 2:30, usually end around 3:30, sorry. Usually end around 6. It's pretty intensive. I mean, we're up on stage working. We take 1 or 2 breaks each day, but it's a pretty consistent process.
Lots of laughs, lots of acting, lots of inside jokes as well, and it's just a bunch of fun.
I think at any given moment you can find somebody laughing or just having a blast backstage, on stage or off actually, and everybody is having fun at any given moment, and it is so much fun to be a part of, to watch the process of people learning their lines, people getting used to the characters and the chemistry and just making it all work, and it is the best time.
The cast is putting so much hard work into the show. Wonder how the seniors feel about this being their last fall drama.
We got to talk to the seniors about what it's like for Puffs being their last show at Hills. Let's take a look.
It is kind of bittersweet. Like, I get to spend this with my favorite people, but it is kind of sad knowing that it's going to end soon.
I am going to miss this so very much. I'm trying to avoid thinking about how this is the last one because I love doing this with my whole heart, and I am going to really, really miss it when it's over. So I'm glad we still have this opportunity this year, especially after the craziness of last year and all that fun stuff. I'm really glad we have this show and a full show, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
As it's definitely odd, especially after the past few ones kind of getting kicked under the rug because of COVID. But it's a really weird feeling knowing that this is the last drama. It's kind of a bittersweet thing.
I've done theater for all 4 years of high school, so it's a little sentimental. It's going to be pretty sad when I have to go, obviously, because I've made a lot of memories here, made a lot of friends, but I'm still happy for the experience.
Honestly, this show sounds like a blast. I can't wait to go and watch. Here's a little bit more about the show and where you can get tickets.
The Wayne Hills Theater program is back in the auditorium rehearsing for their new show, Puffs. Puffs is the story of Wayne Hopkins, a regular boy who finds out he's a wizard and goes to a certain school of male magic and female magic in England. In his time, he makes friends, goes on adventures, and learns the true meaning of being a puff. Puffs is a funny and heartfelt play that will surely get you laughing. Show dates include December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. You can get tickets the week of the show. The theater program sounds like a real family. I can't wait to see the show come to life. Next up, Jake and Dean with an interview with Coach Grimes and Coach Green.
Hello, I'm Jason Hook alongside boys varsity basketball coach, Coach Grimes, and girls varsity basketball coach, Coach Green. So first off, welcome back, Coach Grimes. What are some of your favorite memories from your previous tenure here at Wayne Hills?
Wow. First and foremost, we won the Passaic County title in 2018. It was the first time in school history. Coach Green was also on that staff with us. Probably one of the greatest accomplishments, in my coaching tenure. And then, a real funny moment was senior year. Our student manager, Max Seplo, got to dress and suit up that night and hit a huge three to start the game against Paramus Catholic. And I thought the Gifford Gymnasium was going to come down. So those are two things that still sticking back in my head here at Wayne Hills.
Now, Coach Green, the team lost a few key seniors last year, notably Sam Graff and Kat Lepore. How do you think that's going to affect the team going into this year?
I don't think you can ever replace any senior on any team that graduates, especially a kid like Sam and Kat, who gave so much to our program. But I'm really excited about the group we have coming in. And obviously we're losing our starting point guard and a starting center, so we have to look for some help on the boards and someone, to run the show on the offensive side.
Now, Coach Grimes, what do you think the biggest strengths are for this year's team?
Probably our senior leadership. We have a bunch of seniors. I was privy enough to know them a little bit coming back, and then just getting to kind of be reintroduced to them over the summer and the fall. There's a lot of leadership. There's a lot of experience. You can tell right away that it's a close-knit group, so the camaraderie's there. So I think the fact that they're a real close-knit group's going to help us get to the basketball stuff a lot quicker instead of having them kind of get used to each other. So I think being a real close-knit group is going to help us, especially comes playoff time.
And Coach Green, what do you think your team's biggest strengths are this year?
I think some similarities there. We've got a large group of seniors coming back who have played together. We've got a bunch of experience, and the girls really like playing with one another, and I think that goes a long way, like Coach Grimes said, on the court. And we got an athletic group, and it's going to be fun.
Now, Coach Grimes, is there a different strategy that you have going into this year than you did a few years back with your last team?
No, definitely not. I think the way we try to build things is culture first. I think we try to build a foundation of playing extremely hard and playing competitive every night. We're going to pride ourselves in being a really good defensive team. And then it really comes down to, I think your opponent dictates exactly how you want to play every single night. So it can change on a night-to-night basis for us. But we're just going to be a gritty group. we're going to be a blue collar group. We're going to put our nose to the dirt. We're going to work our tails off, and we think by doing that, the product that we're going to put on the floor every night is going to be a good one.
And Coach Green, do you have a different strategy going into this year than you did last year?
I think we'll see once we get everybody in the gym, see what we got. But I know we're going to play real hard on both sides of the floor, push tempo, push pace, and just go out and have some fun.
Now, Coach Grimes, what are some differences between this year's team and the last team you coached here at Wayne Hills?
Oh, wow. I think Coach Green could attest to this. We were really privy to have some really talented guys my last year at Wayne Hills. Joey Belli being one of them, who's playing at St. Anselm right now, which is a Division II school. Justin Wills, who led the state in three-point field goal percentage for the majority of the year, who's also now our freshman coach. So it's kind of good to bring him back into the fold. So there were certain nights that those guys were able to carry us, where I think this group is very unique. I think on nights that we don't have it, we're going to have to find ways to win in other ways, and I think we're going to have to do it together. So it's just going to be more of a collective. It's going to be more of a collective unit this year for us.
And Coach Green, what's some weakness that you had last year that you think you can improve on in this year's season?
I think we made a lot of growth and a lot of progress last year, actually. I think we want to do it on a more consistent basis, be able to put the ball in the basket a little bit with a higher percentage. I think that's something that we could do a little bit better, but just want to keep playing hard every single day.
And Coach Grimes, what's your favorite thing about coaching here at Wayne Hills?
It's home. This was my first head coaching job. I'm going into year 9. Even before I became a head coach, I wanted to coach at Wayne Hills. I started my coaching career in the town of Wayne, and I knew a lot of the guys when they were in 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th grade, and I think that helps build the program. So, and just the familiar faces is, I can remember, when I came up from my interview back in the summer, and it felt oddly too comfortable. So this is home for me. This is the places I want to be. This is my last stop, and I'm hoping to continue the successful run that we had here in my first 5 years.
And Coach Green, what's your favorite thing about coaching here at Wayne Hills?
I think for me is, this is my 13th year here. This is the only place I've ever been, only place I've ever taught, only place I've ever wanted to be. I think the greatest thing about coaching here is that I get to do what I love, but I also get to have the opportunity to coach kids that I also teach. And this building means everything to me. So it's nice to be able to give back, on the coaching side of it, especially to a sport that I know both Coach Grimes and I both really love. So, yeah.
Thank you, Coach Grimes and Coach Green, and thank you for watching our segment on the Wayne Hills varsity basketball teams. Now we will throw to our baking segment with John McMonigal.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm joined by Lexi. Now we have John McGonigal showing us how to make pumpkin bread. Let's have a look at the ingredients used to make pumpkin bread.
I'll be making pumpkin bread. So the first ingredient is 1 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, 2 eggs, 1 1/2 cups of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 cup of canned pumpkin, 1 3/4 teaspoon of pumpkin spice, 1/2 and 1/2 of teaspoon salt.
The next step is putting everything in the bowl.
Now I will put everything in the bowl and then I will stir it.
After that, you oil the pan. And after oiling the pan, you put the mix in.
Now you oil the pan with vegetable oil and then put the mix into the pan.
The next step is putting it in the oven.
Now I will put this in the oven. It cooks at 350 degrees for 1 hour. After an hour, the bread is done.
That pumpkin bread looks delicious.
I agree.
Let's throw it to Charlotte and Lana with Thanksgiving treats.
Hello, I am Charlotte Rizzoli, and I'm pleased to be joined by Lana Fayas. With Thanksgiving coming up, we decided to make some delicious Thanksgiving treats. We cooked butternut squash soup and baked some warm pumpkin bread.
Take a look at how we made the soup. Now you cut the squash in half, and please be careful because knives are sharp. Once the squash is cut in half, then you have to take out the seeds. Now that the seeds are out, you have to peel and cube the squash. Now that the squash is diced, you have to peel and chop the onion and then saute it.
Okay, go.
I'm not crying, you are. It's the onions. I can't believe how long it took us to cut the squash. It looked like it wasn't that long, but it actually took an hour and a half.
I know, I really didn't expect squash to be that hard to cut. Now that the ingredients are prepared, it is now time to combine the ingredients and cook it.
Put olive oil in a pan and put it on simmer on medium heat, and then add onions, salt, and pepper.
Now add the squash and the garlic to the onions and continue to stir for 5 to 8 minutes on medium heat.
Pour 3 cups of vegetable broth and then add it into the butternut squash and the onion.
Now blend the soup in batches by using a blender until it is well combined and has a smooth consistency.
This is the finished product.
Did you like the soup?
Not really. Did you?
I loved it. Butternut squash isn't for everyone, but it's definitely a delicious fall vegetable.
Yeah. And now we made the pumpkin bread. These are the preparations we did. We combined the wet and dry ingredients before baking.
Combine 1 cup of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and nutmeg, cinnamon, and cloves, and whisk until combined.
Okay, go ahead.
Now crack 1 egg and combine it with the sugar and butter. Use the mixer to beat until it is thoroughly combined.
Pour 1 stick of butter and 1 cup of sugar and mix with a hand mixer until well combined.
Add canned pumpkin into the sugar, butter, and egg mixture, and then combine with the flour. Now it's time to bake the pumpkin bread.
Add the pumpkin mix into a greased pan. Put the pan into the oven at 325 for an hour.
Let the pumpkin bread cool for 10 to 15 minutes and then enjoy.
Did you like the pumpkin bread?
Yeah, it came out pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it too. Pumpkin is very popular in fall.
Yeah, we didn't let it cool down for long enough, so it was crumbling a little, but it's definitely a very popular flavor for a good reason.
Yeah, it's true. Now we will throw it to Ryan with a Thanksgiving Bake-Off challenge.
Hello, and welcome to the Thanksgiving Bake-Off. 2 people will be competing against each other for the ultimate reward, to be crowned the Bake-Off King. Let's check out the contestants.
In the first annual cooking competition, we will have AJ Conti versus Zach Muller. It's going to be a real good competition this time. Hey Zach, what are you making today?
Making oatmeal.
How's that going to be?
Yummy.
AJ, what are you making today?
I'm making chocolate chip cookies.
How do you think they're gonna turn out?
Delicious.
Well, good luck to both contestants.
Can't wait to see how their desserts turn out.
Yeah, me too. Let's check out the ingredients.
Here we have all the ingredients set out. We got some flour, sugar, chocolate chips, butter, vanilla extract, brown sugar, salt, eggs, oatmeal, my bad, oats, and some bowls, cinnamon, and baking powder.
I just love the idea of baking. All the ingredients start out plain and simple, but when combined together, they make something truly delicious.
I really hope they use those ingredients to their full potential. Now let's check out the mixed ingredients together.
Let's preheat the ovens. And let's begin.
Let's go.
Bing bong! How's everything coming together, guys?
Spectacular.
Ready to stir.
This is gonna be really creamy. Oh yeah.
Good looks.
Here I am doing a good job blowing my balls out. I made the greatest cookies ever. Look at his tray. He's got globs. Look at these perfect round circles.
And the trays are in. We got AJ's all finished. How do you think AJ's looks?
Amazing. Dude, I don't need to explain it, just look at it. At least mine are done.
What's wrong with yours?
They ain't cooking.
Yeah, I have a cookie at least. You
You
don't.
have like one cookie. Look at my cookies.
Chocolate chip first. Looks good. It is indeed scrumptious. Yeah, very good texture. Good crunch.
Both desserts seem to be coming along nicely. What is your favorite dessert to eat on Thanksgiving?
My favorite dessert to eat on Thanksgiving is actually pumpkin bread. It's very hearty and very delicious.
I enjoy pumpkin bread too. Let's check out to see the winner.
Alright guys, that was a tough choice, but for the 2021 Baking Challenge, I have to go with AJ Conti as this year's winner.
Well played. Psych alive!
Bing bong.
Congratulations to our winner and our new Bake Off King.
Get ready, because up next we have Lexi and Sarah with Thanksgiving interviews.
Hi, I'm Lexi.
And I'm Sarah. This year seems to have flown by with Thanksgiving and the holidays right around the corner. We got a chance to talk to a few students about Thanksgiving. Let's hear what they have to say and what they're thankful for.
Thankful for my friends and family.
I'm thankful for all my friends, especially my family, because I love my family and I'm really thankful for them.
I'm thankful for my friends and my family.
I can relate to these students because I'm thankful for my friends and my family.
Yeah, me too. Now we got a chance to ask them if they had any plans for Thanksgiving. Let's see what they have to say.
I'm having family come over for Thanksgiving.
My family's gonna come over to my house. I'm gonna watch some football, watch the Raiders beat the Cowboys.
Going to my grandma's house, and I'm gonna celebrate with my family. Then I'm going to my other grandma's house, and that's it.
Every Thanksgiving, I usually go to my grandma's with my cousins. How about you?
I normally go to my aunt's with my whole family. Now we ask them what their favorite Thanksgiving food is. Let's see the clip.
My favorite Thanksgiving food is probably stuffing.
Gotta be either stuffing or I like pumpkin pie, so it's one of those two.
I like mac and cheese and mashed potatoes, so they're equal.
I know my favorite Thanksgiving food is mashed potatoes. What about you, Sarah?
My favorite Thanksgiving food is mashed potatoes too. Lastly, we asked them if they are able to see their families last year because of COVID. Let's take a look.
Yeah, last year I still had family that came over.
Yeah, COVID didn't really have an effect on our Thanksgiving last year, so everything was basically the same.
Oh yeah, COVID didn't really have a problem with my family, so we all hung out and celebrated the nice holiday.
Last year I actually wasn't able to see my whole family because of COVID, but I still got to hang out with my cousins. How about you?
Last year I was able to see most of my family, but not the extended parts. Now let's see what Ariana and Rhea have cooked up.
Welcome to our cooking segment. We made brownie with marshmallows.
I am Ariana.
And I'm Rhea. Hope you enjoy.
First, we're going to show our ingredients.
First, we have some what's called marshmallows and chocolate chips, baking soda, salt, flour, vanilla extract, 2 eggs, cocoa powder, sugar, butter, and we're going to be putting it in here, and this is where we're going to be mixing our dry ingredients, and here we'll be mixing our wet ingredients. Stay tuned.
Wow, that's a lot of ingredients.
Yeah, setting it into separate bowls is really useful too.
Now let's look at the preparation process.
First, you're going to grease your pan and put some flour in it so it doesn't stick. So we're going to do this, and you're going to put some flour. This is a trick my mom taught me so that nothing sticks. A little bit of flour, and then you go like this.
Yeah, that's a trick my mom taught me. If you put flour after you grease the pan, it doesn't stick at all.
Now let's look at how we mix the ingredients together.
Next, you're going to melt your butter in a microwave. You're going to mix all the ingredients. Start by pouring in the butter that you melted into the bowl. And then you're going to put the sugar. And you can mix that first. So it's combined. But you're gonna mix everything together anyway, so it's okay if it's not completely mixed. Then you're gonna put in the cocoa powder. And mix that a little bit. And here we start to get that brownie color that we're gonna see soon. Then you're gonna put in your vanilla extract, just a little bit. Just let me make sure to get everything. You mix that. And here comes the fun part, is to crack eggs. So to crack an egg, if you didn't know, you knock it on the side, like this. And then you pour it in like that. Grab the next one, you knock it on the side until it cracks a little bit, and you go like that, and you break it apart. Alright, so next you're going to pour in your flour, and this is when you're going to start to get that texture that you want. You got to hold the bowl firmly and gently mix everything in. I know it's not fully mixed yet, but we still have other stuff to pour in. So then you're going to put a little bit of baking soda and salt. And now you're just going to mix all that until combined. And it should look something like this when you're done mixing. Lastly, you're going to pour in your marshmallows and chocolate chips into the mixture. And you're going to fold it all in until that is like around evenly distributed.
I love it when all the ingredients come together and turn into that nice brownie color.
Yeah, I think the science in baking is really cool. Now let's look at the baking part of making brownies.
Finally, you're going to pour it all in to where you're going to be baking it. So lastly, you're going to set up your timer for 20 minutes and you're going to bake your brownies.
Finally, let's look at the last step. Finally, once the timer sounds after 20 to 30 minutes, you're going to take your brownies out. Once it's cooled and ready, it should look something like this, and it's ready to eat. Enjoy! Hi, I am Rebecca Coles.
And I am Michael Lucci.
Wow, I'm really hungry right now.
Same, I really want something sweet to eat.
Cookies would be the perfect option.
Yeah, I love cookies.
I actually made some. Let's see what the first step was.
Starting off with making the sugar cookies, we have to sift 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour into a bowl.
What is the next step?
Now I'm going to add 1.5 cups of sugar into the bowl.
These are going to turn out great.
Now I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder.
Now that all the baking powder was added, let's add the salt.
Now I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of table salt.
Now let's add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients.
Now I'm going to add 2 sticks of butter.
Now what's the next step?
Now we need 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract.
That vanilla extract was actually from the Dominican Republic that I got on my trip.
Wow, that is very cool. Now let's see what the next step is.
Now I'm going to add 1 egg.
Now that all the ingredients are added, let's see what the final step was.
Now that everything has been mixed together into this bowl and I preheated the oven to 350 degrees, I'm going to roll out the dough and put it into the shapes that I want. I decided to do some cookies with sprinkles and the rest I will decorate with frosting. Here are the finished cookies.
Cookies are done and they look so good.
They came out great.
Thanks for tuning in. Now let's watch Leah and Marissa's Holiday Dunkin' review.
This past week, Marissa and I went to Dunkin' to review the new holiday flavors that come around seasonally.
The Christmas flavors are my favorite. Corinne Zacone came along to give her honest feedback as a special guest. Let's take a look at what we thought of the new drinks.
Okay, hey guys, Leah, Marissa, and we have a special guest, Corinne, here. Today we are going to be doing a review on holiday drinks from Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, everyone's drinks.
Yay.
Yeah, so we went to the one on Hamburg, and these are all new drinks. Well, Corinne, you've had the pumpkin spice one before, right?
Yeah, this is the signature pumpkin spice.
Have you had, what did you?
No, I've never had this. It's the Ice Signature Peppermint Mocha.
And I've never had, I think this is a toasted white chocolate iced latte. Mine has whipped cream on it. So yeah, we've never had our drinks. So yeah, we're gonna give it a try. We're not sure if we're gonna like it or not, but we're gonna give an honest review so that you all will be aware if you ever want to try it. Okay, I'll go first, so wish me luck. It's actually not that bad. I like my coffees with like caramel and sugar. I don't think this has. Like? It tastes like
nothing. Water.
I don't know. Just like I can taste the white. It tastes like chocolate, like white chocolate, but I don't know how else to describe it. Like I taste the whipped cream.
I feel like the whipped cream's always the best part.
It gives it flavor.
I got no whipped cream.
Yeah, me either.
The whipped cream definitely adds flavor, so I definitely suggest getting whipped cream if you're unsure if you're gonna like it.
Bland. Leah, you actually really enjoyed your new drink. You gave it a 7 out of 10. What made it not a 10?
There wasn't much flavor. It had a few hints that were very good here and there, but other than that, it didn't last long.
That's the worst, not liking every sip. Let's see how Corinne feels about her new pumpkin spice latte.
Okay, Do you want to go next? Corinne's gonna go next.
So I got the signature pumpkin spice latte. It tastes weird. Usually it's good, but it doesn't.
It's very light. I
Yeah,
it's
really light.
If you look here, I'm gonna take it. It's very light. I'm not sure if you can tell.
Literally looks like straight up milk.
Yeah, like
I
it
feel like
tastes
for
like milk.
pumpkin, it
Like,
should
I
be
don't-
more like a little
I
darker.
don't taste the pumpkin at all.
What would you
It
rate-
really
oh,
even
what
tastes like
number would you
coffee.
give yours? Like
Mine, low key, it was pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 7. It wasn't that bad.
I'm giving mine like a 4. Well, for
That's
today.
Yeah.
For today.
Dunkin'
usually
is
it's so hit or miss.
Yeah, it's hit or
No,
miss.
but usually this is good. Like I love pumpkin, but
Yeah,
like
that's
this
weird.
like does not even taste like pumpkin.
So 4. So
yeah.
Corinne's giving hers a 4.
Corinne's reaction was so funny to see. She was not happy at all with her drink, especially because she gets it all the time.
Yeah, that was definitely not fun. She was probably looking forward to her usual order. I am, however, excited to try my drink. Let's see what happens and if I like it. And I have the iced signature peppermint mocha and with no whipped cream because I was a little afraid, but
I'm just gonna try it. I'm guessing she's gonna like it.
it's like it kind of tastes like if you put like milk and water together and like mixed it. There's no flavor. Nothing. It doesn't taste like anything besides kind of battery acid too. Like a hint. I can't even give this a 0. Like this has to be negative. Maybe they forgot to put. There's no peppermint. There's nothing. In here.
I don't know. How could they forget to put peppermint?
It's literally.
Does it even
peppermint.
taste like coffee or?
No, it just is like milk and water.
That's
It's
crazy.
disgusting.
That's disgusting.
So, I would rate this. I can't give it a 0 because at least if it was a 0, I would taste coffee. There's no.
It's
coffee
not even
taste.
on the scale. It's below the scale.
So maybe get it with whipped cream. Maybe that'll help. Or maybe just don't get it at all.
Yeah.
Maybe skip.
A tip I highly suggest, or we all highly suggest, if you do want to get any of these drinks and try them, definitely get whipped
Yeah,
cream
get
in
whipped
them
cream.
because it will add flavor to it. And if you're in Corinne or Marissa situations where it tastes like battery acid or they forgot to put pumpkin spice or peppermint in, the whipped cream might help. And also take a sip before you leave the drive-thru or you
totally
go
should've
in
done that.
Yeah.
because if you take a sip before you leave and you notice that it doesn't taste well, you could go back
And tell them to fix
and
it.
tell them to fix it.
Especially if you're paying like $6 for this and
Yeah.
it tastes like
Yeah.
And it
literally
doesn't
water,
even taste good.
rainwater.
So these holiday drinks,
They better step it up.
they better step it up. Duncan, you gotta step it up because these are nowhere near
Starbucks is
good.
right across the street too.
Yeah, Starbucks is down the road.
Watch
We'll go
out.
over there.
We'll switch. But yeah, so this was our little holiday Duncan review. Yeah, hope you enjoyed.
Wow, Marissa, your Dunkin' was really bad. How upset were you that it was undrinkable, especially because you were so excited to drink it?
Honestly, Leah, I was very disappointed. After the first sip, I knew it had to be thrown away. I could not have another taste. It was flat out disgusting.
Aw, that's terrible. Well, that's all for today in Bad Dunkin'. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you get any drink from Dunkin', make sure it has whipped cream on it.
Hello, I am Thomas Emmerich, and I am here with Marissa Toulis. Today we will be talking to Mr. Paterno about the Wayne Hills High School 2021 marching band season.
Let's see what Mr. Paterno had to say about the 2021 band best performance and what they've accomplished this year from his perspective.
Oh, yeah, the best performance this year was definitely our performance at Tournament of Bands Chapter 10 Championships at West Essex. And it was a great performance. We had just gotten off our home show the night before. So, we were out late, but the band really came through and performed very, very well, which led them to a championship performance, which was nice. But a lot of energy, a lot of fun, and they really sold the music to the audience. Well, it's very interesting. The very first thing the marching band accomplished this year was getting back out on the field. We did marching band last year, but with COVID and everything, it was challenging. And this year we got back to a regular season. So there were so many accomplishments this year that I'm proud of. Yes, the gold rating at the state festival and the TOB Chapter 10 championships were wonderful for us. But just the same was getting back together, getting away to band camp, learning how to travel again, learning how to work together on a full schedule. Again, learning how to make it through a long but very good season. So I think a lot of the accomplishments was just learning to be a band again, learning to perform week after week and work day in and day out. We had great student leadership, which really helped. So I think those are some of the biggest accomplishments, just doing what we like to do and doing it the way we like to do it.
It was amazing to see them come through a tough year recovering from the pandemic. I wonder what the theme for the marching band this year was, Marissa?
I'm also curious about what the theme is.
Our show this year was entitled Celebrations, and like I said before, one of the biggest things we were celebrating this year was being able to get back out and do what we like to do the way we like to do it. We had originally had a very dark show, which was kind of neat and scary, but we said we don't want that. We want to enjoy this. So we picked music that we could celebrate, and we decided to celebrate 4 things: youth, life, tradition, and the future. And those are the movements of the show, and the music that went along with that celebrated each one of those aspects of those different emotions. And the whole thing was to have fun and really, really enjoy it, and it came across that way to the audience. We were very happy about that. Well, I would hope the Wayne Hills Marching Band impacts Wayne Hills in general as part of the community. There are a lot of excellent activities at Wayne Hills, and we hope the Marching Band is just another one of those. We do try to act as musical ambassadors of the school. We get to travel a lot of places that a lot of other people don't get to travel. From Malton, New Jersey, to places down south in Sayreville. So my hope is that we add to the community of Wayne Hills, add to the excellence of Wayne Hills, and provide another activity, because there are so many that are good, that just performs at a high level consistently and makes you think when you hear Wayne Hills, oh, that's good.
What group of marching band performers really amazed you so far in your high school career, Thomas?
The group of marching band performers that really impressed me so far in my high school career is this year and last year. I think they were the best group of marching band performers because this year's and last year's marching band season was taking place during a really difficult time for everyone, most likely, and the marching band was able to accomplish an outstanding season through these 2 difficult and challenging years.
If you are curious about the marching band now, Mr. Paterno can help you understand more about it.
Wow, what did they do so well in comparison to other years? They did a lot well. And the very first thing they did well was just come together as a group. I mean, it's been tough on everybody these last couple of years, and there would have been a lot of very easy excuses as to why we couldn't do what we've always done. But what this group did so much better is they respected each other. They worked together incredibly well. They worked incredibly hard. They supported each other, and they watched out for each other. And although the band has kind of always done that, I think this year it was exceptionally important that the band do that. And again, that goes to our student leadership, our drum major, Dorina Shenko, our band president, Sharon Hecht, all our officers, who kept foremost in their mind that one of the things we wanted to do was reconnect with everybody this year and reconvince them that what we were doing was worth doing and important. So yes, the trophies and things like that help, but it's really about coming together as a group of people and doing something very well. Okay, it's very interesting the amount of work and effort that goes into making a marching band season, because what everybody sees at a performance is a 7.5-minute show. Yet for a 7.5-minute show, we have approximately 10 hours of rehearsal every week. So it's a lot of work in terms of memorizing the music, memorizing the formations, how many counts you had, how you're supposed to relate the visual to the musical, whether it's our guard or percussion or even the wind section. So it's one of those things that's very hard to understand unless you spend the day doing it. Very funny this year is we had a student who moved into the district, knew all his friends seemed to be in band, so he said, Mr. Paterno, can I come out and see what band does? And after one rehearsal, he was like, oh my God, that was exhausting. But it is worth it when you get out in front of the crowd, whether it's a home football game, away football game, or band competitions. A lot of work, but very much worth it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paterno, for taking some time out of your day to get interviewed for Wayne Hills TV. We truly appreciate it.
Up next is Bryn and Ariana talking about their interview with the Improv Club.
Hi, Wayne Hills. I'm Bryn Buckley.
And I'm Ariana Array. Today we will be talking about the Improv Club here at Wayne Hills.
The Wayne Hills Improv Club has dozens of members with new people joining every year.
Let's take a look at why you should join.
Improv is an after-school club that meets every Wednesday from 2:20 to 3:30 in room 225. At each meeting, you can participate in many different games to improve your acting and improvisational skills. When you first walk into the classroom, you'll see a list of games that we'll play at that meeting, usually with some fun drawings from our president, Maya Lozay, and our vice president, Amy Hecht.
One by one, a club leader will explain the rules of the game and choose some volunteers.
We usually do a few rounds of the same game so everyone gets a chance to participate. Some games only involve 1 or 2 people, and some can include everyone.
And we play different games every week, so we get to build different skills. Improv is really fun, whether you love theater or have never tried anything like it before, and you can join at any time. Just visit the Improv Club page under the Clubs and Activities tab at the Wayne Hills website for more information.
Wow, Improv Club looks really good.
Yeah, everyone has a lot of fun, and it's really interesting to see all these different scenes and games play out.
No wonder so many people join. It seems like all the members really enjoy every meeting. Well, that's all for this month's episode of 272 Berdan. I'm Ariana Array.
And I'm Bryn Buckley. Thanks for joining us, and have a happy Thanksgiving. See you next month.